Welcome to my Chanel, USA Battle Zone. Tonight, I'm bringing you a story that will stay with you long after the screen goes dark. A story of fear, courage, and the unexpected heroism that can rise from the smallest, most fragile place. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let yourself sink into this cinematic journey. She was only a kid in seat 17A. 12-year-old Lily Hart pressed her forehead against the cold airplane window, watching the sunrise smear orange and gold across the clouds like paint strokes across a blank canvas. She loved sunrises. They meant new beginnings, new possibilities, things her father used to say when he tucked her in at night before every deployment. But this morning wasn't peaceful. She was traveling alone for the first time, clutching her backpack like it was a life raft. Her father, Major Daniel Hart of the United States Air Force, was missing in action. She didn't know what that meant exactly. Adults kept using soft words. Disappeared, unaccounted for, conflict zone. She wished someone would just tell her the truth. The flight attendants walked the aisle, their smiles gentle but thin. The plane hummed steadily as it cut across the sky toward Nevada, where Lily's aunt would be waiting. Where Lily would wait for answers. And hope. Seat 17B was empty, a quiet bubble where Lily could hide from the world. The captain's voice crackled over the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're experiencing a minor communications issue, nothing to be alarmed about. Please remain seated as we troubleshoot. Lily stiffened. The cabin lights dimmed just slightly. A tremor ran through the aircraft, barely noticeable, but enough to stir a murmur of worry through the passengers. She pressed her hands into her hoodie sleeves, breathing slowly. Her father had taught her box breathing, 4 seconds in, 4 out. It helped sometimes, but then the plane jerked, not violently, but wrong, an unnatural banking turn. Gasps echoed. The captain's voice didn't return. The entire cabin fell into that heavy, suffocating silence people feel before something terrible happens. Far above them, 2 F-22 Raptors cut through the stratosphere like silver blades. Callsigns. Ghost and Ranger. They had been scrambled from Nellis Air Force Base after the commercial aircraft stopped responding to ATC directives. Its transponder was flickering, changing altitudes, not squawking distress but not answering either. A non-responsive jet over U.S. airspace was a nightmare scenario. Protocol demanded interception. Ghost's voice came through the secure channel. Ranger, visual on the target. Boeing 737, no obvious structural damage. Ranger angled in. Copy that. No smoke, no flame. But something's off. The two fighters flanked the airliner, matching its speed effortlessly. Inside their helmets, they could almost imagine the hundreds of innocent souls watching them with widening eyes. Ranger toggled the radio. Commercial aircraft on heading 220 north. This is U.S. Air Force Interceptor. Respond if you read. Nothing. Ghost tried. Commercial aircraft, identify yourselves immediately. Static. Then, movement. A flicker in the cockpit. A shadow. But too still. Too wrong. Ranger clenched his teeth beneath his oxygen mask. Ghost. This doesn't feel like a systems malfunction. Then came the order from Nellis. If the aircraft descends below protected altitude and remains non-responsive, your mission shifts to engagement. Engagement meant one thing. The two fighter pilots fell silent. They had trained for this. Prepared. But no one was ever truly ready to take down a passenger jet full of civilians. And then, a voice crackled through a weak emergency frequency. A small voice, shaking. Young. Hello. Is someone there? Ranger jolted upright. This is Ranger of the United States Air Force. Who is this? I'm Lily. Lily Hart. I'm on the plane. Something's wrong. A child had somehow reached the emergency comm link. Ghost's tone sharpened instantly. Lily, sweetheart, are you safe? Where's the crew? I don't know. Her breath hitched. The captain is on the floor. And the door is locked. People are scared. Ghost and Ranger exchanged horrified glances inside their cockpits. Lily, Ranger said gently, can you tell us how you got to the radio? I saw the pilots weren't waking up, so I went to look. I took the thing the stewardess dropped. The one with the buttons. She sniffed. Please don't let us fall. Ranger swallowed hard. You're doing amazing, Lily. We're right here with you. We're flying alongside you. Ghost leaned in closer, his Raptor nose almost parallel to the cockpit windows. Lily, can you read the name on the captain's shirt? A long pause. Her tiny voice returned, trembling. It says Captain Reed, but there's another jacket on the floor. It says Major Daniel Hart. Ranger froze. What? Repeat that, Lily. My dad's jacket is here. Her voice cracked. My dad is Major Hart. Do you know him? Please tell me he's okay. Ghost's breath caught. Ranger's pulse thundered. Falcon. Major Daniel Falcon Hart. The legendary pilot who saved an entire village overseas by breaking orders to divert fire. The man every airman admired. The man who had mysteriously gone missing 6 weeks earlier. Ranger whispered it without thinking. Falcon's kid. Lily heard him. Did you say my dad's callsign? You knew him. Ghost's throat tightened. Yeah, Lily, we knew him. He was the bravest pilot I've ever flown with. Silence. Then a whimper. I miss him so much. Ghost steadied his voice. We're gonna get you home, okay? I promise. Inside the plane, passengers murmured in panic, some crying, some praying. The aircraft continued descending slowly, dangerously, toward unauthorized airspace. Ranger barked into the comm. We need a plan, Ghost. If this plane dips another 1,000 feet, command will force our hand. Ghost stared at the cockpit of the Boeing. Falcon wouldn't want us to give up. Not with his little girl on board. Ranger exhaled. Then we trust his daughter. He switched frequencies. Lily, sweetheart, I need you to do something very brave. Can you look behind the captain's seat? Do you see a headset? A shuffle, a sniff. Yes, put it on. I'm going to walk you through pressing a few buttons. We need to get the plane stable. She didn't hesitate. Falcon's daughter, through and through. Okay. Her small fingers followed instructions with trembling determination. Buttons clicked faintly through the radio. Ghost monitored the wings through his canopy. Altitude stabilizing. She's doing it. The girl was fighting gravity with nothing but courage and a stranger's voice. Passengers felt the sudden evening out of the plane, gasping, some shouting thanks to God, others to the unseen heroes outside. Ranger spoke softly. You're doing it, Lily. You're flying with us. A shaky giggle crackled through the channel. My dad always said flying felt like being close to God. Ghost smiled beneath his mask. Your dad was right. The moment was fragile, beautiful, and broken. An alert pierced Ranger's cockpit. Unidentified drone detected near the commercial aircraft, potential hostile interference. Ghost's radar lit up. A rogue military-grade drone, likely responsible for the attack on the pilots, was rising toward them again. Ranger snarled. Not today. The Raptors split like synchronized predators. Lily, Ghost called, don't be scared. We're still here. We're just taking care of something. What? What is it? A bug, he lied gently. Just a metal bug. Then the sky exploded. Ghost snapped into a sharp dive, chasing the drone. Ranger looped above, boxing it in. The drone fired a burst, shrapnel slicing the air. Ranger barked. Ghost, brake left. They moved as one. Falcon's old squadron rhythm still alive. One missile, one streak of fire, one clean detonation. The drone went dark, spiraling uselessly toward the desert. Ranger exhaled. Target neutralized. Ghost angled back toward the Boeing. Ranger, look at the altitude. The plane was rising, stabilizing, guided by a trembling child fighting her fear with every breath. Ghost whispered, Falcon, your kid is saving all of them. A fleet of emergency aircraft assembled as Lily followed every instruction, slowly guiding the plane toward a safe glide path. Fire trucks lined the runway like red, anxious soldiers. Tactical teams waited in case more threats emerged. Ranger's voice stayed steady. Just a little more, Lily. You're almost home. She sniffed. Are you staying with me until we land? Ghost answered before Ranger could. Always. The runway rose beneath the plane like a promise. Passengers held hands, cried, whispered prayers, and Lily, Falcon's daughter, pulled the aircraft toward safety with every trembling ounce of courage in her small body. The wheels hit the ground. A bounce, a screech, a rumble, and then, silence. A perfect landing. The cabin erupted in sobs and applause. People hugged strangers. Flight attendants broke down in tears. Lily dropped the headset and covered her eyes, overwhelmed. This is Ghost, he said softly. Lily, you did it. She couldn't speak, just breathed in jagged shivers. You brought them all home, Ranger added. Just like your dad would have done. Medical teams rushed aboard, helping passengers disembark. Lily sat frozen in 17A until a paramedic gently took her hand. Sweetheart, you're safe now. She looked out the window as two F-22 Raptors roared past in a low, celebratory flyover, an honor usually reserved for fallen heroes. She whispered to herself, "Did you see, Dad? I did it." Hours later, after debriefings, hugs, and endless tears, Ranger and Ghost stood on the tarmac, helmets tucked under their arms. They watched Lily step down the stairs, wrapped in a blanket, looking impossibly small. Ghost knelt to meet her eyes. "You were incredible up there." She managed a tiny smile. "My dad would have saved everyone. I just tried to be like him." Ranger's voice broke. Falcon would have been proud, more than proud. She reached out and hugged them both. Two hardened fighter pilots froze, then gently held her, their eyes burning. In that moment, the sky felt quiet, full of ghosts and heroes. And new beginnings. Lily wasn't just the kid in seat 17A. She was Falcon's legacy, and she saved a plane full of souls with nothing but courage and a trembling voice. Thank you for watching this emotional and cinematic story. If it touched you, if it made you feel something, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to USA Battle Zone for more powerful stories like this.